Okay, this is gonna be an interesting experiment, but I'm a curious person, so I'm gonna experiment. This is the day one of me needing no God, because yeah, I'm 26 and I've had talks with a lot of billionaires, millionaires, successful people, famous people, and all of them have given me one thing: connection and praise. And also, some of them have given me some positioning as well. But the most important thing that they've given me that they cannot ever take away is leverage. And that leverage is that, hey, this guy compared me to Dostoevsky. When I say um, a philosopher, a novelist, a bestseller compared me to a Dostoevsky, to a lawyer, the lawyer is gonna feel, why is that? And he's gonna say, okay, I'm gonna stick around to find out. Then I get his name associated with my name. To the next person, to the policymaker, I say, hey, this lawyer is actually mentoring me. And all of them are truth, because lies are um, very hard to maintain. Lying is literally like basically maintaining a separate reality, so you need to build everything coherently, and it takes a lot of energy. But truthfully, you can leverage people. So you go to the policymaker and you say, hey, this lawyer is mentoring me, keeping a close eye on me, giving me advices, and also the bestseller is comparing me to Dostoevsky and publishing my stuff as well under his own name. The policymaker is going to say, okay, interesting. These people seem very accomplished. And you go on and on like this. But I'm gonna do another experiment, because I've done that experiment and I've leveraged people for each other. It's literally like the joke that someone calls and says, I'm Bill Gates' kind of son, or I'm married to Bill Gates' daughter, for instance, son-in-law, basically. And he calls a very kind of fancy bank and says, I'm Bill Gates' kind of son-in-law. And then he goes to the Bill Gates, says, I want to marry your daughter because I'm hired in this bank. So this is the mutual kind of leverage that because you have high status, you become another high status person. But I have another experiment to run, because I've written a lot in my life. I have documented every step of my life, and I have had sort of freedom that most people go in a lifetime without experiencing, because I can talk to whoever I want, whenever I want, however I want, no matter they're billionaire, millionaire, whatever. I peerize basically everyone. Everyone is either my peer or mm, they're not even at my level. And this grandiosity is kind of interesting to me, because even scientifically looking, by maintaining that reality, even a fake reality, that becomes the new reality. And to live in that reality coherently, none of the financial hardships or other kind of aspects of your life can actually interfere with that reality, because that is your self-belief. And what has happened in history, that self-belief actually forces the outer world to react. Like 2 years ago, I didn't have all of these powerful and influential and famous and rich people around me. because the belief wasn't there. My capabilities were there because I would still be in one of the greatest law schools mm, in my niche. I would still be brilliant. I would be still writing all of that, but there wasn't a belief. But along the way, 1 or 2 months, I started believing, yeah, what if I'm actually the greatest writer ever to have put pen to the page? And I started feeding that belief that, yeah, maybe 1 out of 8 billion or out of 100 billion in history people, maybe one of them is the best in the way they think, the way they kind of see things, and the way they systematize mm, structures. And I started believing that. Because I believe that, and I still believe that, I'm acting accordingly. Every time I write, it feels as if I'm writing scripture. And that confidence not only shows in my personality whenever I'm talking to people, sometimes it even surprises me that I don't need people to like me. And this is very kind of attracting to even people at the highest level of their whole career. That I literally have pet names for philosophers and um, lawyers, bestsellers, and all of that because I don't lose them, they lose me. Sure, they're 50, 60 years old now and they have accomplished amazing things in their lives. But first of all, I have accomplished more in my 26 years old life of having literally believed in myself almost 1 or 2 years, give or take, not even 2 years. And my ceiling is way higher than them. Sure, their potential is realized, but they're also captivated by their own potential. Even these videos, I don't do things that are serving 1 or 2 purposes. At least everything in my life has to serve 3 purposes. This video is not only literally me perpetuating this belief system that I am this, this is my belief about myself, documenting it, which is a kind of social um, validation mechanism that I need to believe it in order to document it. There's in Cialdini that someone wanted to quit smoking for 20 years, and there's a woman, and she tried every trick in the book to quit smoking, but she couldn't until she literally told everyone she likes, including one of the colleagues, male colleagues she had, that she had a crush on, that she has quitted smoking. At the moment this happened, every single time she would go in front of the colleague and go behind his back to go smoking, she would be very terrified of him seeing her smoking because she said she's done smoking. And this has made her actually quit smoking. In the book is documented. So the least thing that I get out of this is not only the documentation of my life, but also perpetuating this belief that I am the way I say I am, and I'm documenting it because I'm making myself accountable for who I am. And the third one is that whenever I become objectively significant in the eyes of the world, eyes of whatever, um, this is gonna be the formula in order to get that. Every video I've done is the documentation of that. And the other thing is that this is an experiment because this amount of freedom to say whatever I want, whatever I think, sure, has consequences, but it doesn't limit the freedom. Sure, I can have limited freedom to reach billions of people for now. I can have limits in what to eat, where to go, and what to do, and all of that, but I don't have limitation of thinking about myself. So many people have internalized this shame and outsourced the blame to the outer system, and that influences how they see themselves. No matter what happens in my life, I'm never gonna have that view and lens of seeing myself lesser than my current belief system, because it has proved to be tremendously effective in my life. A year ago, that I started randomly, just out of curiosity, believing in my significance and genius, and there is the trick as well. This social ignorance that I've put up um, many videos calling myself genius, many writings that I literally say I'm better than 8 billion people, all of the people in history of humanity, has been met with one thing that is so fascinating to me, which is non-resistance. Because maybe 5 to 10 people see the videos, or even 0 views, there is no resistance because there is no one to actually see it. And this, in a some kind of interesting way, has given me the audacity and the permission to actually go more, to test more lanes of reality. And when once in a lifetime, for other people, for me once in a week, I come across these instances that I meet interesting people, that I just cold email someone, the energy shows that this person is 30, 40 years younger than me, hasn't accomplished anything, but still believes in himself in a degree that I haven't understood in my whole career. This is how people read this, and this is how people are captivated by this. So I'm doing another kind of layer of this experiment now. I've been very dependent on who I know, how I know them, and how much they can do to improve my life. The concepts are friends, people I know, and also the concept of God. I'm very curious why everyone is begging God, because um, why would anyone be better than you? And sure, they hold more power, they hold more whatever, but is that actually power until you believe that they hold the power? Because someone can actually torture you, someone can whatever, but if you don't internalize that belittlement yourself, they cannot actually break you. And why would you break yourself for a concept such as God? And this is the freedom that I'm talking about. I can say whatever and whenever, however, things I want. And the best case scenario is gonna be this is gonna resonate with people, and start believing in themselves in non cheesy way. And the worst case is gonna be I'm gonna be, which I'm not gonna allow it to happen, but let's say hypothetically, I'm gonna believe in myself till the last breath, and none of the outer world is gonna change at all. And there is a kind of a friction between these two ideologies as well, because the moment I started believing myself even a little, I know there's even more to believe in myself about. And so many interesting things have happened in my life, that I do more quality, not only in the writing, but also in the actually designing the systems that's gonna be here after I'm gone. But also, I've attracted more interesting people. into my life, because that curiosity at that kind of entering a room as the emperor in front of another kind of, let's say, king or whatever, and the social hierarchy, it signals to them, yes, you're not talking to a peasant. And this is so fascinating to me that this has kind of mm, skewed my focus towards believing that these people are responsible for my life. Sure, these people are responsible for preserving what my mind in 50 to 100 years may be replicable and replaceable. They have this moral obligation, if they are aware of it, to actually preserve this, but they actually do not hold they either don't recognize their obligation, or they are ignorant regarding that obligation, that uh, it's not enough to intro me to people. It's not enough to do a little bit. They need to go and guarantee the results, because this mind is not going to be replicable in 50 to 100 years or even more of that. When people who have studied Nietzsche compare me to Nietzsche at 26, it's quite alarming that they don't understand their obligation to preserving that. But now I'm doing another experiment, and I'm trying to build everything from the first molecule. That yeah, maybe not only I don't need any not only I don't need to be reliant on other people in a way that they have to save and understand their obligation to save this kind of generational mind, but also I'm I'm gonna remove another layer of this dependency, that is God, because God has been always useless in my life. If there is a God or if there isn't a God, it doesn't matter. In reality, it has been useless to me, and I'm gonna start the experiment at least for a couple of years, unless I'm proven wrong, or I have new information and data. Um, I'm gonna treat God as non-existent, because whenever there is no God, not even the God as the concept of God, but also any deity to actually be belittled to. No hierarchy of social status, no one better than you, nothing. No groveling to anyone. And I want to experiment this with understanding how my mental model and how my belief system and how my whole kind of constitution is gonna react to this, and what am I gonna do about it? Because if there is no God, if there is no higher power, there is nothing. Um, you start believing that everything is allowed. Not only everything is allowed, but also it's gonna be kind of vacancy for godhood. Not that I'm gonna step into the godhood shoe. That would be quite a very high delusion. But I'm curious how this is gonna actually affect me, because one of the weaknesses that I've identified in the past year, I've been very highly reliant on big names and big people saving this mind. Not my life, like handing me billions per month, but the way that I have overestimated people's understanding of what they're dealing with, because I'm pretty sure these people who are comparing me to all of these historical figures, who themselves could, if they had the balls to, be, because they have the resources, um, be compared to these historical figures themselves. Um, but they're playing the easy game. They're playing within the system when they're capable of redesigning the system, because that's what happens. You infiltrate a system and you redesign it from the inside. That's what progression means. But these people are so comfortable inside the system they have designed, someone else has designed, that they just don't step out of it, and this is gonna lead to their insignificance. I've talked to many people who are successful, billionaires, whatever, and I ask them the simple question: now that you have 100 million revenue per year, why are you um, still posting on LinkedIn? You can make your own platform. You can make your own policy on the platform and see if it fails or succeeds. That's it. You're not supposed to follow the rule when that rule has outlasted its kind of usefulness to you. And this is the part that they don't answer. They say, I like doing this. No, you don't like doing this, because if you were liking doing this, you wouldn't be doing it every single day. No one posts on LinkedIn on every single day without the necessity. For me, is the material necessity to be seen and to build a brand. For those who have the brand, is not even the maintenance of it, because they can move it to another kind of form. The love is the love of the engagement and love of the actual being worshipped by other people. They constantly compare themselves to another person, bigger person, in their exact niche. Someone, I was talking to a therapist, friend of mine, who earns almost like 50 K a month, and she was so jealous of another friend of hers earning 100K a month. And I was like, yeah, but you don't actually even spend 20K a month to begin with. And this is the sickness that is spreading, that because the boundaries of social hierarchy is so clear, and you go on Instagram and all of that, people flaunting their wealth and their projected identities, people are on constant kind of comparison system of themselves. For me as well, like I see other 18 years old, 20 years old billionaires, and I say, okay, what don't I have that this guy has? Because I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in circumstances. I don't believe in anything. I believe that this guy is either better than me or not. That's it. The outside results are saying this is better than me, and I cannot accept that this guy is better than me. So I do my own thing more and better. Because sure, it could be different paths and different longevity of what we produce, different reward systems for it. But and that this is the fascinating part for me, that I want to understand what a godless world, not in a Nietzsche sense, that God is dead, so you become the God yourself. No, in a godless world, that there is no concept of God, that no one is gonna be worshipped and belittled towards another entity. And I'm running this experiment. At least in these videos, I can say whatever the fuck I want to say, and it's quite the freedom. And also in my writing, I can write whatever the fuck I want to write. I don't even aim to publish my writing, because yeah, publishing it is gonna be for others. It's not for others. It's for my own thinking, and yeah, we're gonna see how it goes, because I just noticed that I'm delegating a lot of my life to other people, and those people actually don't deserve to have the weight of my life. And I'm just gonna start removing all of them, because having a philosopher, bestseller, kind of billionaire friend is of no use if you're not getting anything out of them, if you're not engaging for hours over philosophy, over improving yourself and you're not getting any money from them. These people don't even exist. And sure, it gives you kind of social calibration system that yes, I'm not crazy because look, this, that, and the third told me that I'm not crazy. But now that I have had that validation, I can just let go of it, and I can just focus on building whatever I'm building, because it just um it's just very interesting to me, because the way I see it is that these people are blessed to have me in their lives, and if they're not actually um, cherishing that with resources, with positioning, with institutional backing, with all of that, they just don't exist. And I'm just gonna focus on just yeah, becoming my own god, so I don't grovel to another piece of shit in the sky or under the earth. Because how funny a god that literally does nothing and takes credit for your creation is literally the most kind of daunting plagiarism in the history of existence, that whatever you do is because of God. No, I did it. That fucker had nothing to do with it. And I'm curious what's gonna this um, unfold, because I genuinely don't understand people who say, okay, there is someone better than me, and there is someone better than me who is in the sky, and this someone who is better than me has seen my whole life unfold and is just waiting. Uh, Basically, he has the spoiler of he, she, it has the spoiler of my whole life journey, and he's watching anyway because he's just so bored. I just don't understand the purpose of this kind of dynamic between creator and creation, because if you know the end of the story, you just write a new story. Um, you just do another thing, because why would I watch a movie where I know the ending? Sure, how it gets there is interesting, but even in that sense, if there is an actual God, the how itself is evident as well. There is nothing that the God or concept of God cannot know, because that literally undermines the godhood ofness of the existence. And yeah, maybe like Nietzsche, I'm gonna go crazy, not in 46, but in 26. And at least the way I see it is that dying is not scaring me, because dying is gonna be me or some sort of my consciousness finding an answer to the existence of God. And or I'm not gonna be me to actually have that question. Or the financial difficulties and all of that is not gonna scare me, because I'm a capable person, and I find my footing every single fucking day. So that doesn't scare me. Um, to be honest, I don't have anything to be scared of other than the fear of immense pain that could occur in the future, but is not happening now. So I'm chill. And this is the thing that I'm curious about, because I want to understand that what this gonna do, because um, it's quite an interesting question to be had. I've decided mm, ever since I started believing myself in about like a year ago, was that I need no God, because I value everything by their use, and a useless God is nothing to me. So I want to talk more because this is quite an interesting way of wasting time, which is in reality, it is wasting time. It's literally like 30 minutes of scrolling on TikTok because this video is not gonna get any kind of attraction at all. It goes against every kind of established algorithm that YouTube has, but it is still not wasting time because it's some sort of productivity and me documenting my own mind, me documenting my own self at 26 for maybe 10 years, 20, 30, 50, 80 years later. And also, um, this is kind of thinking that gives your subconscious an idea that where you want to go. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen, and we're gonna see what's gonna um, happen out of this experiment as well. Day one of needing no God.